Hello and welcome to Season 2 of the Spirit Lounge podcast. With me, David.
And me, Glenda. And we are two psychic mediums from both sides of the pond.
Glenda is in Australia.
And David is in the UK.
And we're here to talk about, discuss and give our opinions on all things spiritual, including psychics and mediumship.
And if you've listened to the podcast before, you know how much we love to laugh while keeping it real, honest and down to earth.
As well as having those discussions, there will also be guest interviews and maybe some other surprises.
So come with us now on our podcast journey and let's see what's happening in the Spirit Lounge for today's episode.
Well, hello listeners and welcome back to the Spirit Lounge. I am here with Glenda. Hello Glenda, good evening to you.
Good morning, David. Hello, listeners. How are you? David, I'm having a giggle.
We're all good. We're all good. Lost the plot a little bit there for a minute, but we're all good. So, Glenda, in this episode, we are going to do what we said we'd do, which is to answer questions that anybody sends into us and turn them into an episode, which is what we're doing here today, people. So we have a question from a listener, Carly Marshall. So hello, Carly. Thank you for listening. We're going to answer your questions that you sent in as well. And hopefully you'll find it useful. So as we always say, whenever we give our opinions or answer questions or whatever, it's based on what we've experienced. All right. So other mediums might tell you a different thing because that's their journey, how they got started or whatever else. But this is just from our point of view. To hopefully help you, Carly, listening, and any other people that are listening out there who have have similar questions to Carly as well. So you might find that we also answer other people's questions at the same time. So, Glenda, Carly's got quite a few questions here, but it's all relating to the same thing. But let's start and we'll go down the list. So the first thing is, what do we need to do exactly to start up a psychic business?
Okay,
so
I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to keep on track here. Going back to when I started. Okay, keep it basic. Keep it basic, Carly. Like, I know it's overwhelming and it can be quite scary, but just keep it basic. Number one, open up a page. Create a page. Facebook, Instagram. TikTok, whatever. Okay, so create a page, share it out to your friends, get your friends to follow, and bang, you're already going. Number two is, if you're going to see clients, you need to have insurance of some sorts. I know both UK, Australia have different rules, but I always have insurance. It covers yourself, easy. Number three, you need to decide if you're going to see in person or work on Zoom. So or another platform, whichever one, keep it basic, keep it easy. Zoom, there's other platforms you can purchase out there. And in person, you need a place. So are you going to work from home? If you are working from home, you will need insurance, extra insurance on top of your home and contents, like your home insurance, because if someone slips and falls down at your front door or something like that, you need to have insurance for that, because your house insurance is not going to be covering that. So liability, all that sort of stuff. And then you have to have a booking system. How are you going to book people? Are you going to have a booking system? I didn't at the beginning. I did the backwards and forwards messaging just on your Facebook page. You can message people that way. That gets frustrating after a while, but you know what? Just start with that to be basic. It costs you nothing. It costs you time. Once you build up some boundaries with that, because you're going to need boundaries with answering people. And I just want to also say, if you are going to do that, have another phone. Don't give out your home phone number or your work phone number, because you'll get people calling you at odd hours. Booking system. The other one is get on Vistaprint or wherever you are in the world. We've got it here. Some cheap business cards, hand them out. And kind of I think that's really all you need. A set of cards, if you're going to read cards, you don't need much to begin with. And confidence. Yeah. Take that big leap and see how you go. I think that's about it. I'm going to keep it short because David always rides my ass for it. So keeps telling me to write a book. But here you go, David. I'll hand it over to how you started.
No, I did. Is incrementally. I think when I
Yeah.
first started, I took the plunge and set up a business page on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's how I got my name out. As you said earlier, Glenda, which we recorded before, but obviously we've had to kind of re-record this bit. You also said about if you're going to do that. No, how did you put it? How did you put it about telling your family and friends first?
Okay. I'm going to go into it very briefly. The biggest and hardest thing for me was to come out of the closet. So that was to actually announce my business on my own Facebook page. That one is your biggest step that you're going to take.
Yes.
So you need the support of your friends and family on your business page, and then you will just go from there. But that one there is a big one of coming out
Yeah.
because you're not always going to get that. So
Yeah.
did you do that too, David?
Yeah, so everyone knew before I did it, and so yeah, I already had the support there. But as you said, I think you said it as well, Glenn, that if you can't tell your people in your life that you're going to do it, then are you really ready to do it?
Yes.
So
Yes,
you
I've
need to have the confidence, you
I,
say.
yes, and I've had a lot of friends that say they want to start up a business, and then I say, "Okay, are you ready to announce it on your Facebook page?" No, I can't do that. Well, you're not ready to start a business then.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
You're not.
absolutely. So yeah, I started a business page. I did free readings for a year. So that's not
Yes.
really a business, but that was more me trying to get myself known a little bit. Now, I'm not suggesting to people that you have to go out there and do free reading because I've learned my lessons along the way, trust me.
Mm,
But for me, that's what I did just to build up my confidence, keep building upon my skill as a medium, and develop it a bit further there. So that's what I did there. And then, I mean, I can't really tell you when I started charging because it's kind of blended into one at this point.
mm,
But there was a point I got to and I thought, no, I need to charge. Like, a lot of people told me off for not charging. So I did start charging. Um, and I think that's basically what you've said there, Glenda, is um, yeah, start your business page, get your name out there, get yourself some business cards,
mm,
sharing them around, just building up the confidence. Insurance we'll come on to in a second. We've already touched on that slightly. But it's also deciding, okay, what is your business model?
mm,
What what do you want to do? Do you want to offer psychic readings or just mediumship readings or both, depending on where you are in your development? Do you want to offer healing? So you really need to decide before you get going is okay, what am I offering? What
yeah.
do I have to bring to the table? And not just doing any old thing to earn a bit of cash because I've seen it, and I think as I say, a lot of people, but there are many mediums out there who you suddenly see, oh, now they're offering this, now they're offering that, and then a month later they're no longer offering it. I mean, yes, you can say it's trial and error. You're experimenting, seeing what works, and I have experimented. I'm kind of still
Yeah.
sometimes thinking, okay, let me change that. Let me try this instead of trying that, and I still do that. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, but only do things which you are also going to enjoy.
Exactly.
Don't do things that off you're going to do this just for the sake of bringing in a bit of extra cash. Only do things which you feel you are going to enjoy doing. There's no point in doing, I don't know, private readings if you don't enjoy doing private readings. Instead, no, do platform work or healing or whatever. So you've really got to find where your niche is and what you feel your skill lends itself to. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. So it's also, I think, as talked about the cash, is also thinking about the money. It's thinking about, okay, if I start doing this as a business, how much do I need to charge in order for me to earn my living? How much do I need to charge in order to pay my bills? How much do I need to charge to keep, keep the roof over my head, or to rent this space if I want to rent a space? So there's all that to think about as well, because I think I kind of jumped into it a bit too. If I really reflect on it, I jumped into it a bit too soon. But that's a whole other story. So it's just being smart about, okay, what do I need to bring in? What are my incomings versus my outgoings and all that kind of stuff. So I
Yeah,
think I think sometimes because we're excited about the work, I think what can sometimes happen is we just want to do it, but just by doing it is not going to help you in the long run, because you're then not being able to live, because you've not
yeah,
worked out your overheads and things like that. So there's a lot to it, a lot to think about. And then you've got to, if you're self-employed, which is a self-employed role, you've then got to think about, okay, I now need to do my self-assessment every year and keep my records up to date, unless you get an accountant to help you do that as well.
yep,
So it's not just a case of I'm going to be a medium and start reading. It's a case of,
that's right.
okay, I am going to read, but if I'm earning this money, I need to declare it.
That's right. We've got tax. You got to
I've
pay
got tax
tax.
and things like that. So it's looking at it not just I'm a reader. No, you are a business person owning your own, because effectively you are the CEO of your company,
Yeah, that's
right?
right. And that's right. We missed the biggest one, David.
What's that?
You need to you need to have a business name and register it.
Oh yeah, bugger.
So you got to come up with a name, what you're going to call yourself. Like we spoke in the last episode, I didn't start off with my name, Glenda Recycling Medium. I started off with Mystical Gypsy, and it's like whatever you feel like in that time, whatever feels good, but register your name. Like in Australia, you have to register your name. You have to pay for that name. You have to register an ABN number that you are going to work under for tax purposes under ASICs. So that is all registered and legal. If you have none of that, you are not a legit business. So
Oh, it's a bit different here.
yeah, we have to have all of those. I mean, every year you're up for all of this stuff. This is what people don't understand. But Mary down the road's cheaper. She's only $80 a reading. Does she pay taxes? Does she pay all of the stuff that we have to pay? So if you're going to do a dodgy, well, you're not paying the overheads. You're not paying your tax. You're not paying your ABN. You're not paying your business name, because you've got to pay for your business name to hold that every year. We
Oh, I
do.
see. Oh, we don't in the UK. I'm
Yeah,
just
we
us.
do.
Well, I want to register as in the UK, when you register your self-assessment, that's you register, then that is you're registered under your name, right, under your business name. But we don't have to pay for it unless you register as a limited company. Then yeah, that's a bit different. But for myself and many others, we're just a sole trader, which is what we come under. Because obviously I don't have assistants or staff or anything like that. So in the UK, it's different on that level. Um,
Yeah, and
without getting
and
too
here it's
legal about
Here
it.
it's here it's like if you earn a certain amount, you have to pay GST on that. Like it's really that stuff. I hate that stuff. So again,
Yeah,
like David said, you might be better off to get an accountant to help you with that sort of thing. Um, then you've got your website. You have to pay for the domain name. Like
domain. Yeah,
you have to.
absolutely.
I have to pay for my name for having that name.
Yeah,
You have to pay for your website, but you
yeah.
don't need a website straight away. Like
No, I
I didn't
didn't.
have a website for years. It was only later on I got a website, when you start getting heaps of bookings and you want to spread your wings a bit, a bit more. But you have to have all that sort of stuff. Like you have to have a business bank account so that you keep that separate to your normal your normal savings account, so that when the tax man needs to look at it, it all it all meshes. You've got how are you going to take payments? You're going through PayPal, you're going through a different booking system that takes it. So you've got fees and that come with PayPal. That needs to be linked as well with everything else. God, we're sounding a little bit morbid, but it's
No,
I started
it's. I wish I
it's a
knew all
lot.
this. I wish I knew all this when I first started.
That's right. It's like you've got all of that stuff on top of taking bookings, on top of seeing people, on top of, if you're going to actually do legit like both David and I do. But then, we'll go back to a little bit, reverse this a little bit. starting off with opening the page. We've gone right up into all the things that you need. Let's go. We've opened up the page. You've made up a business name. You've registered your business name. The first thing you want to do is get going, isn't it? It's a bit
Hmm.
exciting. How, like David said, your business model. How are you going to work? Are you going to just do mediumship readings, psychic readings, healings, whatever? You can do whatever you want. The first thing you want to do is get some reviews happening. And no one does that anymore. I can't tell you the last person that put a review on my page, but they write to me and tell me how freaking great I am. No one writes reviews anymore. So maybe giving out some readings and getting a few people to write on your page to say, that you're actually legit, you're a good reader helps.
Yeah, I
Some
agree.
people look at it, some people don't.
Yeah,
Nowadays, it's word of mouth. Word of mouth is going to be your biggest pull. It's going to bring your business. Before social media, before reviews, any of that, if you do a good reading, that person is going to go and tell their friends. You're going to be spoken about in, every day. You're not going to believe it. I had a reading with such and such. She was spot on. It was great. So that's what's going to work for you. Um, that's how you want to start of kind of like, and posting. That's the other thing. See, that comes with your own stresses. Posting, building the confidence with putting a post out there and being happy with it. I don't know how many times I have posted something and just went, fuck that, delete. I didn't like that. I did that at the beginning. Now I don't give a shit. But at the beginning, you second guess yourself. How is that going to be received? Oh, am I going to piss someone off with that? Oh, is such and such, is that going to irritate someone? You just got to post it and just be okay with it. Isn't that right, David?
yeah. And a lot of it is down to you because, as me and Glenn have talked about before, is that we don't have assistants. So you've got
No.
to think about the marketing as well, about creating your posters, creating your adverts, creating your whether it's but they be memes or affirmations, whatever it is you want to put on your
Mm-hmm.
page as well. It's putting that kind of stuff out there as well to get yourself known. Um, and yeah, and just owning what you put out there. I think a lot of time, both myself and Glenda, we do hold back. Or I hold back a little bit as well. I don't want to be cringe-worthy. I don't want to piss people off. Always be in people's faces. So it's working out for yourself. How often do you want to post? What do you want to say? Because what you say is a representation of who you are as a person and as a medium. So another
Mm.
word we discussed, which just popped in my head, is think about your branding.
Yes.
What do you want your brand to be? What do you want to come across as being? I know there are a lot of mediums out there who give themselves a tagline. I'm not really into all those, to be perfectly honest. Um, but how do you want to present yourself? What do you want people to know about you? And when it comes to that name and branding not branding yourself, but giving yourself that working title, me personally, I would say keep it real. Who are you?
Mm-hmm.
What does your title? You don't need to be a mystic alien from outer space. I can't think, but
Unicorn
you know,
riding,
like a unicorn. You know what I mean?
unicorns.
You don't need all of that. Just what is your name? Your name
Yeah.
is. My name is David Hale. I am not an ethereal being from planet. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? It's and a lot of people out there that do that. No, just give your name. What is your name? Because you are the one that's doing the work.
Mhm.
So just think about that. Think about that as well. How you want to present yourself,
Yeah.
basically.
And the one thing that I can't stand is people stealing other people's posts. Be authentic.
Yeah.
Just be creative. Create your own stuff. Don't look at other people's shit. And it doesn't matter if they're posting this and that. Just do your own stuff. I don't even look at other people's stuff other than my friendly mediums that I will love to support and that. Just post what you feel is authentic, organic, and genuine, like come from the heart when you post. Because remember, what you post is what you're going to attract. You keep posting negative posts, you're going to get the negative people.
Yeah.
You post
There's
in,
a lot of passive
there's a
aggressive
lot.
posts out there. Just don't just avoid it. And if you're in a
Yeah.
mood or if you're in some kind of headspace which is not positive, don't post anything because
No.
it will come out in your post. So if you're having a shitty day and you post something, that post is going to have some kind of passive aggressive or negative connotation to it. Avoid it. Keep your negative stuff
Yeah.
to yourself. I know we're human, but keep your negative stuff to yourself, basically. Again, it's
Yeah.
your branding, it's how you want to come across to people. If you want people to book you, think about, okay, how do I get people to book me? What do I put out there that's going, as Glenn said, it's going to attract those people that I want to book me?
That's right.
Right.
Exactly right. It's like if you're going to be posting, and you know what? I'm trying not to judge here. I really am. You're going to be posting dark, negative shit. That's the type of people you're going to attract. If you're posting that sort of stuff, that is what is going to come your way. They're the ones that are going to want to book you. Or do you want to come from a place of love and healing and inspiration? They're the type of people that you're going to attract. So that's all. That's what I've learned.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah.
Like people have said to me, "Oh, I don't know what's going on. Oh, all of a sudden, I'm getting some really weird clients, or this is coming through." Well, what are you putting out there? Your energy is also going to attract the people that you have coming. So you
Yeah.
need to stop and reflect. When someone posts something negative on your post, don't stand there arguing with them on a post because everyone is watching what you're doing. Just delete it. Move the fuck on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, don't have this all out argument on your post because everyone is watching what is written. It's not worth it for you. You want to remain professional. The other thing is what I've learned is people are going to piss you off, whether that is clients, whether that is messages you get, whether that is people that comment on your post or anything like that. Do not respond in anger. Walk away from it. Respond when you've taken time out to just kind of calm down. Because if you respond in heightened energy, it comes across that way. I
Mm.
feel like um, they always say, if you're angry with something, don't respond in that day or something like that. Walk away from it so you got time to
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I
Think
mean?
about it. Don't respond
Think,
straight away. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just
So,
the whole thing's about just being mindful. That's all. Just be
yeah,
mindful about what you I know when you are protective of your brand and you're protective of your business and someone says something not too nice, your first instinct is to jump at them and give them a mouthful.
yeah.
Which I get, especially when you get trolls and things like that. But it's just being mindful about it, really.
That's it.
So
And that comes down to when you've written in this question like protection and handling clients. Well, protection is I don't do any protection to protect my business in spiritual woo woo bullshit. I don't need to do that. Like David always says, like I feel that I am protected. Our
yeah,
guides are our protectors.
yeah.
Um, I
I
don't
don't
need to
shit.
protect myself. I'm not sure. Is
No.
that what you mean? Protection?
I
Protection?
don't know. It's just that Kylie's question, how do we protect ourselves whilst doing this line of work? So I don't know if that's the kind of legally or whether that's how do we not protection as in
Protection.
spiritual protection, but maybe protection as how do we like any business, how would you protect yourself from I don't know. That's I can't I know I want to say it, it's not coming out my mouth properly.
Okay, I know. I know. Okay, so protection. What you're giving to a client, you need to be very, very careful on. So
Oh yeah, that's
again, we
more
come down
yes.
to we come down to our ethics and how we give our readings and how you show up. So I'm just going to give a little example for you. You're doing psychic reading and you tell someone that their partner is cheating on them and you've done reading from your home, you can have that partner turn up on your door knocking saying, what the fuck did you just say to my wife when
Yeah.
I'm not cheating on her? That's if that's the way that you need to protect yourself, be very careful on how you give your readings and what you
Yeah.
deliver.
Yeah, because
Again,
in all the insurance in the world will not protect you from that. The insurance is
Yes.
more to protect you from, I don't know, any medical things you might accidentally give, or it just or protects your space or whatever. But obviously
Yeah.
different insurances are for different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, as Glenn said, you can't protect yourself from that. So again, it comes back to the mindful, or the mindfulness, in the sense of being mindful of what you are saying in your readings, what
Yes.
you are giving. Um, and just because we have this ability does not mean we can say whatever the hell we want to say to
No.
people. So,
No.
how to protect yourself is being mindful of what you say. Only you can protect yourself from whatever you're protecting yourself from, right? So, insurance is there for as a business wise, for business insurance, as most businesses have anyway. Um,
Mhm.
but only you can protect yourself in this line of work by being mindful of what you say to people. Again, come back
That's
to your
right.
branding. How do you operate? Do you want to be known as someone who just says it as it is, and whatever comes out your mouth comes out your mouth? If you do that, then obviously you're taking the risk of something like happening, like Glenda says. And I know
Yeah.
there is a psychic out there who has spoken about this in her book, where she told a lady her husband was having an affair. He came banging on her door a couple of hours later to her front door.
Really?
Yeah,
Really?
it's a true story that did actually
There you
happen.
go.
And and so she felt very threatened. So she'll never do that again, because she learned from that experience that that was very frightening for her. The fact that her husband came knocking on her door, banging on her door, demanding, she apologise, or whatever. So you don't want that to happen. So that's the only thing you can do. If that's what we've got, if we've understood that correctly, Carly, about how to
Yeah.
protect yourself in this line of work, then you have to think about those things. You can't just say whatever the hell you want to say. Just because it might pop into your mind does not mean that you have to say it. So it's being
That's it.
smart about what you are saying, how you're delivering your readings.
It comes back to your ethics, and that's one of my David's thing that we constantly go bang on about it, our ethics and how we train our students. And that's the first thing. The first thing you should be mindful of, the things that you say. It's very important. Like our fairy godfather says, your words would, how does it go? We words can do
You always have the power to uplift or
power
destroy.
to. That's
So
right.
you've got to be aware of what you say to people. And in that same vein, Glenda, how would you deal with a disgruntled client if you had one? I've never had a disgruntled client, so
Me either.
I've not had that personal experience. Hopefully, touch wood, will never have a disgruntled client. Obviously, you might have clients who maybe walk away from a reading not being happy with it. But then I think you have to think about it in the terms of, well, actually, it maybe not be about me. It might be about the client, and about
Mm-hmm.
what they've come to the reading expecting. Because I do think sometimes some people have unrealistic expectations about what the reading should be. And I think
Yes.
we do beat ourselves up a lot, and it will happen very often where, not very, hopefully not very often, but it will happen, especially in the beginnings, where you do take it personally if a client leaves you a bad review, or they tell you they didn't like the reading. You can take it personally because you've done your best, you thought you've done your best, and they're still not happy with it. But again, it's not always about you. And I'm
That's
even
right.
even still to this day, I sometimes feel like, oh, was that reading good enough? But then we've both had medium say to us, you can't hang on to that. You've
Mm-hmm.
done what you needed to do in that moment. Whoever came through in that reading came through in that reading. There's not much you can do about it at that time. So yes, you may sometimes have a client that's going to be a bit, I don't know, not, I don't know if I want to say upset or disappointed, probably a better word, but no, it's not necessarily about you or what you've done. It's about, they were also expecting something which you couldn't give them, because maybe that spirit person wasn't ready to come through. Maybe they want you to tell them that everything's going to be okay. And actually, sometimes they might need to go through a difficult phase. Maybe they want you to tell them they're going to meet their new partner next week down the local post office. Have they been to the post office? No, they haven't. So they're not going to meet at the post office, are they? So, they will have
Mm-hmm.
expectations sometimes which we can't always fulfill.
Yeah.
So that can lead to that
And
disappointment.
I will share something. I
Hmm.
had one lady come for a reading, and she did write to me and say I was very disappointed. with the reading. In I was expecting my loved one to tell me what to do. Well, that's when you take it upon yourself to explain that they don't do that. That is not their job. So you have done your job. She is disappointed because she wanted to be told what to do. It is not the role of our loved ones in spirit to tell us what to do. This is our life and our journey. So sometimes you have to explain that because people aren't aware of that. They're not mediums. They don't know how it works. So it's about explaining how you work. So number one, if you're working online, whether you're working in person, you need to tell the person that's coming for reading how you work. You need to explain how you work so that they're not expecting something that they're not going to get, that you've covered all your bases. And for me, if I haven't got a connection with the first 15 minutes, or I'm not connected to that person sitting in front of me, I'm not going to continue the reading. I'm not going to waste an hour of my time to keep trying to please that person in front of me. I'd rather end the reading, give a refund, because it doesn't mean that you have not got the connection with the person they want to hear from in spirit.
Mhm.
It means that you have a connection to the person you are reading, and whoever comes through, comes through. Because at the end of the day, depending on how you're working, if you're just going with, like David and I work with, whoever steps forward, steps forward. We can go in psychically and who do you want to hear from, of course, but it depends on how you work. There's no guarantee to this work at the end of the day,
Yeah.
but they might feel disappointed, but you did your job. So they don't necessarily deserve a refund. If you have given an honest reading, a genuine reading with a connection there, you shouldn't have to refund. Just because they never heard from Joe Blow that they were expecting to,
Mm.
I don't think you should be refunding them. So, and there is going to be people that are going to try and pull. I've heard people come, then they complain and they get a refund from a lot of readers. That was a scam for a while. So you have to be comfortable in walking away with, I did the best I could with that reading.
Absolutely. Yeah, I definitely agree. Um, and so yeah, that's kind of what we would say there. But again, I've never personally dealt with a disgruntled. I've had people would say, "Oh, I wish that person would have come through." And I say, "Well, look, it's not
Yeah.
up to me. It's up to spirit, right? They're the ones that are in charge. We're at the mercy of spirit, um, most of the time, all of the time, really." But I think that is everything Carly's asked about. Um, So not sure how much of this you can answer, but I'm interested to know how to get started once you've done all your training and feel ready to take that next step. I think last thing I would say there, Carly, is deciding how much of this you want to do. So
Mm.
do you want to do it part time? Do you want to do it in just in the evenings, or do you want to go into it full time? So it's just having in your mind as well as we talked about it earlier on about your business model, but how often do you want to do it? Because what you don't want to end up doing is being burnt out, which is what I nearly did when I was working full time and
Yeah.
doing this, and it's a lot. So, but if you are going to jump into this full time, you need to make sure, again, coming back to the money situation, the finances. If you are jumping into it full time, it's making sure that you are still being able to cover all your bases from a financial point of view. So it's being smart about it, and I wasn't so smart when I first started. So,
Oh, we've
um,
all been there. We've
yeah.
all been there.
So it's making sure you've got that figured out as well.
And I just want to add in there as well, have a good support system behind you.
Yeah.
Have friends that you can walk away with and have a good time and disconnect, because you don't, this work can be very, very overtaking of your life. Believe me, if you let it, it will just, you'll be just doing it all the time. Whether you're on your phone, whether you're doing spiritual stuff, be very mindful to have both feet in this world
Yeah.
and not over in the spirit world all the time, because you will lose your balance in
Yeah.
life,
Yeah.
and you don't want that. I have seen people break up, marriages break up, because the partner couldn't handle this side of it. So be very mindful of who you have around you in your life, the support system, and look after yourself. If you
Yes.
feel like shit, if you don't push yourself. At the end of the day, you know, you can postpone, you can cancel, you can do all that. I don't do that very often. Once or twice I've done that. But if you are seriously not not well, don't feel bad that you have to cancel or postpone. You have to
No,
look after
absolutely.
you.
You got to. You can't do your best when you're feeling shit, basically,
Yeah.
is what I've
Yeah.
learned.
And you don't have a backup system like you have at work where someone else is just going to take over. You work for yourself.
Yeah,
This is
also,
all on you.
and if you're sick, you don't get paid.
No,
Holidays, you don't get paid.
no.
So there's a lot of these little intricacies to think about, which we don't always think about. If you're self-employed, you then don't have a work pension.
Yes,
So then you've
that's
got to think
right.
about, okay, how
You
do
don't
I
have
then earn my
super.
pension? How do I then add savings and that kind of thing? So it's all those little things also to think about, which I took for granted at the beginning. So it's, if I'm sick, as you said, Glenda, no one can take my space. I don't get
No,
sick pay. If I'm on holiday for 2 weeks, I have no wages for 2 weeks. So,
that's right.
it's thinking about all these things as a self-employed person.
Yeah. And what scares me, and I see mediums out there do it, and I'm booked out for 6 months straight. What the fuck happens when you get sick? You've got to catch up on all that. Where are you going to fit them in? What space can you fit them in because you're booked so far in advance? That gives me anxiety.
Yeah.
Um,
So
I
I don't like
I
cancelling.
I
So
don't
to me,
I
that's
don't either. Me either. I won't cancel. There is no
yeah,
chance I'll cancel unless there's a death or if I'm gravely ill.
yeah,
I will postpone, but then I'm working double the following week to
yeah,
catch up.
yeah,
So just be mindful of how many bookings you are booking, how far in advance, because you work for yourself. And I'm
yeah.
not saying scare tactics because there's mediums that brag about, I'm booked 2 years in advance. I fucking would hate that.
I would
That
hate that
would
as
make
well.
me.
Yeah,
I like taking off. I'm going on holidays next month. I like the freedom of opening up so many slots and just having them filled, and then I can live my life. That's just me. I don't have to rely purely on this. So again, like David said, how much do you want to work?
yeah. Pace yourself.
Yeah,
That's what I'll
that's
say.
it.
That's it. Well, Carly, I hope we answered all your questions, and I hope you found it useful. And anyone else that's listening, that's thinking about setting up their own spiritual business, hope that's helpful as well. But yeah, there's a lot to think about. It's not just let's just jump into it, let's just do it, and let's see what happens. No, because you need to make sure you can also live your physical life as well. And so yes, I think that's it for this episode, Glenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. That was good.
Marvelous. Right. So that's it. So we'll finish it up here. So thank you as always, for listening, people. Join us again in the next episode where I believe we've got another viewer question or listener question coming up as well. So do stay tuned. And we'll see you again in the next episode. Thank you for joining us in the Spirit Lounge for today's episode. We hope you enjoyed what you heard. And if you did, please like and share the podcast. And if you can, please leave us a comment or review, as it really helps us out.
And if you want to hear us talk about a particular topic or have a question you'd like our viewpoint on, then email them to us on either davidhmedium@outlook.com or glenda-marie1@hotmail.com. And we'll get to them as soon as possible.
Lastly, if you'd like to connect with us individually and book our services, you can check out our websites. Glenda's website is www.glendamariepsychicmedium.com.
And you can find David at www.davidhmedium.co.uk.
For now, it's bye from me.
And it's bye from me.
Join us again soon in the Spirit Lounge.